Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kimberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. Australian crime fiction has gotten a very strong reputation and well deserved, and it runs the gamut from light and cozy to deep, dark noir. Let's take a look at an Australian crime novel today and turn the spotlight on C.A. Larmer's Killer Twist. Roxy Parker is a Sydney-based freelance ghostwriter. When famous socialite Beatrice Musgrave decides she wants her memoirs published, Roxy is given the assignment. She's not overly keen on it, but a commission is a commission. Roxy has had a few meetings with Beatrice when tragedy strikes. Beatrice is found dead, presumably of suicide. Roxy wants to go on with a memoir as a sort of memorial to her client, but she starts to get threatening notes, and someone nearly pushes her under a bus. So it's clear that somebody, somewhere, doesn't want the book published. Roxy wasn't entirely convinced that Beatrice's death was suicide anyway, and she comes to believe that someone might have killed Beatrice to prevent something from seeing the light of day. Roxy looks more deeply into Beatrice Musgrave's life, and she soon learns that Beatrice had more than one secret. She was on the brink of telling all and revealing her private life when she died. So Roxy starts with the people in her client's immediate circle. She also travels to Beatrice's hometown in the back beyond in New South Wales. Little by little, Roxy gets a picture of Beatrice's life, but someone has found out what she's doing. And there's another murder. Since Roxy discovers the body, she's a person of interest. So she'll have to convince the police she's innocent. She's determined to find out the truth, though, and it won't be easy. As the story goes on, Roxy ends up in grave danger. And in the end, skeletons come out of closets and the past is revealed. So what are the elements in this story? How does it all fit together? This is a contemporary whodunit. The reader is invited to think about the evidence Roxy gets and work out who the killer is. And some characters are not who they seem to be. So finding the killer isn't going to be as easy as it might seem on the surface. Roxy is an amateur sleuth, so she has a bit of an up and down relationship with the police. Some appreciate the information she gets and her way of making sense of what she finds. Others consider her meddlesome at best and a menace at worst. Overall, though, she isn't a maverick who considers the police a stumbling block. For their part, the police aren't portrayed as inept or uncaring. They're doing their jobs. The story is told in third person, past tense, mostly from Roxy's point of view. She's single, but it isn't through dysfunction. She has a tense relationship with her mother, but it's not melodramatic. And she has positive relationships with her friends and people she knows. She can be stubborn, but she's not uncaring. And she's not foolish, and she's quite skilled at getting people to talk, which isn't surprising given her profession. The story is set in Sydney and in the small rural town of Maxland, and Larmer places the reader there. The culture, the language, the idiomatic expressions, and the place names all reflect the New South Wales setting. The novel is a modern whodunit. There is violence, there are murders, but it's not at all gory and there's no real explicitness. The killer is revealed little by little, and the reader is invited to consider all of the relationships involved in the story. Readers will want to pay attention to the characters and who they are. Killer Twist is the story of a socialite, her past, and her relationships. It features a New South Wales setting, a group of suspicious characters, and a journalist who is determined to make sense of it all. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kinberg. Thanks for watching.